Hello everybody, the Lawn Gnome is here.
Keep up the good work.
Because I am going on vacation.
So before I begin the review of this specific film, I don't want you guys to feel as if I'm coming off unenthusiastic. I had a really long day, packed with things, and I am extremely tired. But I couldn't let this day end without talking about the newest addition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is the first Marvel film in this universe after the closing of Book 1, and that is Spider-Man Far From Home, starring Tom Holland, Samuel L. Jackson, Jake Gyllenhaal, Zendaya, and Colby Smulders. So, I don't know whether this movie is classified as the last part of Phase 3 or possibly the first installment of Phase 4. I'm actually going to go with my gut and go with the latter on this matter because that's pretty much what this movie feels like. This movie takes place after the events of Avengers Endgame, and I don't think it's unsafe to say that this is after the world has been officially restored, but about the fact that it is actually 5 years in the future. Of course, those are the events of Endgame. And Peter has decided that Spider-Man and Peter Parker need a much-deserved vacation. So he's going with some members of his class on a European excursion, and one of the few things that he specifically wants to do is he wants to tell the girl that he's suddenly crushing on, who is MJ, exactly how he feels. But another person is actually waiting in the wings to talk to him, and that, of course, is Nick Fury. Because after all of these events, especially with what happened to a very specific Avenger, he is trying to convince Peter that based on all of these events, new heroes need to emerge and step up no matter how young they may be. But Peter just wants to be a kid alongside being a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And yet he is thrust into a bigger world with bigger dangers, and everybody that he loves is now officially in harm's way because of all of these things that are happening all around him. So, of course, I was excited to see this film because I loved Spider-Man Homecoming. It was definitely one of the best incarnations of Spider-Man that we got, with excellent writing, an excellent cast, and of course an excellent score from Michael Giacchino, who actually returned to score this new installment of Spider-Man. And after going to see this movie, and after hearing that people were saying that this was the best MCU film, the best Spider-Man film, I'm not going to agree or disagree because I sort of fell somewhere in the middle. I don't think that it's the best Spider-Man movie, I don't think that it's the best MCU movie, but I still had such a good time. I found this movie to be full of laughs, action, adventure, romance, and charm. That is all the greatest things that a movie has to offer, and Spider-Man just wrapped it up beautifully in a perfect little package, because one of the few things that I loved so much about Spider-Man Homecoming was the fact that the love story was a secondary piece, and this really was him trying to grow as a hero. Now, after he has officially grown as a hero and sees what being a hero is all about, he's sort of taking it back because he wants to enjoy himself as just a regular guy. And you can respect that, especially from a kid like Peter Parker. And it was just really cool to see all of the villains that he took on, all of the tasks that he had to take on, all of the decisions that he had to make, because my goodness did he fall into a great deal of crossroads in this movie. But of course, the newest addition to this cast was Jake Gyllenhaal, who plays the Spider-Man character Mysterio. And you probably, if you've seen the movie, know exactly why I say Spider-Man character. He definitely did a fantastic job as Quentin Beck, aka Mysterio. I also loved all of the costuming and the production value that went into this character because it really looked like he was ripped right out of the pages of the comics, and that's one of the few things that I do appreciate appreciate about a lot of the characters that we have seen in the past Spider-Man movie as well as this one. And I thought that the performance from Jake Gyllenhaal was absolutely stellar. Ironically, there were talks where he might have in fact been Tobey Maguire's replacement way back in the day, so it is really nice to actually see him in a Spider-Man movie. The rest of the cast I really didn't care much for. I mean, they had their moments, they had their special traits in the film that actually made them fun to watch. Colby Smulders as Maria Hill, it was great to see her back, but we really didn't get too much from her, but that's okay. But after the end of the film, I really did walk out of the theater just happy. You know, I had a good time with this movie. But before I walked out of the theater, there were two specific things that happened, and that is the mid-credit scene and the end-credit scene. And let me tell you guys, I don't know where we are going at this point in time in the MCU. But one of the things I can definitely say is, you better believe I am pretty damn excited. Especially one of those credit scenes has a moment in there that I did not see coming, but I will say this without spoiling things. It was a dream that I had in the newest incarnation of Spider-Man come true officially, and I couldn't have been more happy and more excited for future Spider-Man movies as well as future installments in this brand new book of the MCU. This is definitely going to be a movie that I do want to see again, and it is a movie that I do want to own on DVD. Like I said, did I think it was better than Spider-Man Homecoming? No. Did I think it was worse than Spider-Man Homecoming? No. Did I think that it was any better or worse than any of the MCU films that I have seen thus far, making this one number 23? No. It was a good time at the theaters. If you are a Spider-Man fan, you will truly be happy with this movie, and I am going to give Spider-Man Far From Home 3 stars out of 4. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below, and let's discuss Spider-Man Far From Home. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.